Hey, so it's been a while. I kind of skipped a month of doing these collection videos and everything, and March was depressing. I bought literally 2 items and they were both Game of Thrones seasons. But I've made up for it in the past month and a half or 2 months or whatever. And I went crazy and I bought a bunch of stuff. I've got some DVDs and Blu-rays right in front of me over here, ready to go through. Are you ready? I'm going to have timestamps for everything, but I'm going to start off with the DVDs new to me, starting with horror and horror comedies. So the first one up is Cooties, which is actually a pretty damn underrated movie. I know it sounds stupid, but, well, it's stupid, but it's stupid in a fun way. It's like a zombie movie, but the zombies are kids, so it's a bunch of adults who are bashing up a bunch of kids. It's a silly zombie movie. It's good. Then next up is Black Sheep, which is a New Zealand movie, which is also about zombies, or unconventional zombies, in that they're sheep. This is a movie about sheep zombies. I have not seen this since I was a kid, but I remember liking it when I was younger, thinking it was funny. I don't know, it kind of seems like my type of movie. I thought I should probably get it. I should definitely rewatch it though. Then there is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, another zombie comedy horror movie. This one, I admit, isn't like the best of these sorts of movies. It's a little bit more on the boring side. It doesn't really lean into the comedy as much as you'd expect when it comes to this kind of thing. It actually takes itself surprisingly seriously, but then again, I haven't seen it since like 2015 or whenever this came out, so maybe I'm wrong and I just missed things back then. I don't know. And then next up, this is kind of a horror movie, Casper, another movie I haven't watched since I was a kid, but I liked it. And then next up is the original Night of the Living Dead, which I thought was a pretty cool find, but it annoys the fuck out of me that this sticker, the sticker here is on the front cover, and every time I try and take it off it rips. But it's alright, it's on the case, it's not actually on the booklet thing, so I'll just swap the case around. Not that big of a deal, but still, why do they put them on the front of the case? Fucking cash converters. Then there was Truth or Dare, again, a few dollars, pretty much everything I got. I always say this, but everything I buy, most of what I buy from op shops or from really cheap sales and stuff. I'm a pretty cheap kind of guy. I'm not gonna pay top dollar for things a lot of the time just because I simply can't. I can't afford it. So if you do want to build up some sort of impressive collection like we might call mine, it's impressive, shut up. Go up shopping and stuff, you know, you gotta look for the deals. It takes a bit more time, but if you're trying to save money and stuff, it's worth it. Anyway, Truth or Dare for $2. Yeah, it's kind of a shit movie, I know, but I kind of don't hate it. I kind of like those Blumhouse trashy horror movies, alright? Then there is Hellraiser Revelations, which IMDb wants to tell me is a terrible, terrible film, but I remember I watched it maybe 8 years ago, and I remember thinking it was alright. I don't know. I'm not really into Hellraiser. I'm not really familiar with Pinhead and all that stuff. I know it's kind of weird, and it's kind of like, he's like a demon, but he's like, ooh, there's pleasure. It's kind of weirdly sexual for a creepy villain guy. Am I getting this right, or am I just remembering this wildly inaccurately? That might be the case. But I bought it because it was $2. Then next up is this movie called Unsane, which I actually have not seen, but it seems interesting, and it's all shot on a phone, famously all shot on a phone, which I can't say too much, you know, I can't be too judgmental of that because all of my YouTube videos are shot on my phone. You're watching what a phone is shooting right now, so. Then next up is My Bloody Valentine from, I believe, 2008. This is a movie I have not seen, but it seems like a movie that I would have seen, so I thought I should probably buy it. This is a 3D version, so hopefully there is a non-3D version because I do not have the stupid 3D glasses. I don't know, but again, this was $2, so whatevs. Then next up is Pet Sematary, the original, which I got for $3. This was still in the wrapping though, so yeah, doesn't matter that the sticker's on the front if there's wrapping on it, so that's pretty nice. I haven't actually seen the original, I've only seen the remake, but the remake is pretty good, so I imagine the original must be pretty good. I'll watch it eventually, you know, but I probably won't do a review or anything, so you'll probably never find out what I think of the original Pet Sematary. Then next up is this movie I've never heard of called The Smiley Face Killers. Apparently it's written by the dude that did American Psycho, and apparently it's fucking atrocious according to the IMDb score. It's got like a 2.3 or something ridiculously low like that. I don't know. I've never heard of it, but it looks like a movie that I would have rented when I was a teenager from the video shop, and I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. See what I think of that one. Then this isn't really horror, but Dracula Untold. Have not seen this movie, but again, only a few dollars. I can't say no to things. If something came out after like 2010 and I've heard of it and it's got an actor that I like and it's $2, oh fuck it, I'm buying it, aren't I? I can't say no to things like this. Then there is Red State, which is directed by Kevin Smith. It's kind of a more serious take than you'd expect from him. I remember being honestly pretty disappointed by it. Not my favorite film, but I do like what it's going for, and I thought it was worth having either way. Then next up is a movie I haven't seen called Lake Placid, which just seems to be a giant crocodile movie. Yep. Seems like solid, great stuff, doesn't it? I don't know. Then next up is what that movie is ripping off. The original Jaws film. I'm not the biggest, like, Jaws is my favorite film ever, like a lot of other people are. I have only seen it once, I think. I think it's good, but it's not exactly like, I don't know. I'm not like obsessed with it like a lot of film buffs are and stuff. I think it's good. I think it was definitely worth having. But I don't mind just having this on DVD and getting it cheap on DVD. I probably won't buy this on Blu-ray. I don't really care that much. Maybe that's just... Maybe you weren't expecting me, the film buff man, to say that kind of thing. I'm not shitting on it. I don't think Jaws is a bad film. I just don't think it's like the best thing ever, like a lot of other people seem to. Maybe I'm crazy though. I don't know. Okay, and then next up, I'm doing these kind of thriller, action-y type of movies. Just it kind of got to this part. So first up is this Australian movie called The Square. I'll be honest, I don't remember that much about it, but I remember it being very good, so I bought it. Then there is another movie I have not seen called The Game with Michael Douglas, and I think it's... Is this David Fincher? Pretty sure. Yep, from the director of Seven and Fight Club. It's a David Fincher movie I have not seen. I think I will like this quite a lot. Apparently it's not like his strongest film by far, but I don't know. I don't know that much about it, surprisingly, but it seems like something I would like. Then there's this movie from, I think, 2006. I have not heard of it before, but it seems like it could be very interesting. Possibly. I don't know. But, you know, the fact that I haven't heard of it is maybe a bad sign, but yeah. Five Fingers. It's about, I don't know, terrorists and torturing people, and it seems like it's going to be like a politically complex type of film, and it seems interesting. Speaking of politically complex and whatever, a pickle lips, that's what I just said. Apocalypse Now. It's a movie I have not seen, which you are probably shocked by. Unless you watch my channel, and I've probably already said this before. I haven't seen Apocalypse Now, but I thought it was finally worth actually seeking out. Again, I got it for a few dollars. I will be watching that at some point soon, maybe. And depending on how I feel about it, I might just do a review, being like my first watch of Apocalypse Now. Because, you know, that could get some views. I don't know. Anyway, next up is this movie called Rendition. Doesn't seem that interesting. Have not seen it, but it's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. And I want to own all of the Jake Gyllenhaal movies, to be honest. And I'm going to watch all of the Jake Gyllenhaal movies because he's my favorite actor. So I'm making an effort to start doing that. And there's Two Guns, another movie I haven't seen. Seems fine, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if I never even end up watching that one. But, oh, well, this is what I do. This is what I do. I buy movies. And that's it. That's what I do. I buy movies. Then there is this called Rogue Assassin with Jason Statham and Jet Li. I remember liking this quite a lot. Apparently the alternative title is War. If this cover looks familiar, but it should say war to you. Maybe in another country it's called War or something. In America, I don't know. I remember liking it when I was a kid. Then there is A Knight's Tale, which I watched for the first time fairly recently, and I kind of like this movie. It's fun. It's nothing that's going to blow you away or anything, but like I like it quite a bit. Then there is the original Mortal Kombat movie. Haven't seen it. Plan to probably in the next week or so. I've been really wanting to watch this since the new Mortal Kombat movie came out. Then there is another Jason Statham movie, Crank High Voltage, the sequel to Crank. This one is about this dude, not Crank. In my last video, I said that the dude's name is Crank, but his name is Chev Chelios. How do you speak? Because I don't know sometimes. And in this one, he has to like keep himself electrocuted and staticky. Hopefully, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I might already own this. but I'm not 100% sure. I hope not. Then there is the original Superman, the movie, 1978, and I have not seen this movie before. I didn't get this for $9, as the sticker there suggests. That was from whatever shop this place was at before it ended up at the op shop that I bought it at. I got this for, I believe, $2. Yeah, I'm pretty curious to watch just the original Superman movie. I'm kind of ashamed that I haven't seen it. Like, it seems sort of like a pivotal thing for a superhero movie fan and everything to see. So I'll see what I think of that one. Then there is Fantastic Four, the shitty 2004-ish one. Not a great film, but it's Marvel, and I'm a completionist, you know? I need them all, so whatever. Then there's Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and same deal with that. Like, I'm just kind of a completionist. Don't love that film, but yeah, I need to have them, you know? And then there is Kill Me Three Times, a Simon Pegg sort of action-y, not really as much of a comedy as you might expect from Simon Pegg. Kind of like an action thriller type of thing. A bit of comedy in there and all that stuff. I don't remember it that well, if I'm being honest. Maybe there's more comedy than I remember. But yeah, it's kind of just a cool find. Like, that's a unique find. You don't find this in every single op shop. You know, like, I dropped things. When you go into op shops, in my experience anyway, you're always seeing like the same 5 movies over and over and over again. You see like Charlie's Angels from 2003. That's fucking everywhere. Anyway, this is not one that you would see at like every single op shop. Unique find. Then there is this one called The One. I have seen this before when I was a kid, but I don't remember it that well, but it sounds pretty fun. It's about Jet Li, who has all of these different versions of himself in multiverses and whatever, and there's this evil Jet Li trying to kill them all so he can be the one, the only Jet Li in this universe for some reason. And then there is another Jet Li trying to stop that evil Jet Li from killing all of the other ones. Sounds fun. Yeah. And then the one that I dropped here was Alien vs. Predator, the second one, Requiem. I haven't actually seen this one. I don't like the first one, but I buy things because I'm stupid, and I just keep buying things, man. Like, come on. If you've been watching any of my collection videos, you know it's about I shouldn't be, but it's about quantity, not quality. And now a couple more thriller, drama type of movies like that. First up is Bronson, which is a movie that I remember thinking was actually sort of boring when I watched it for the first time, but I was like 14 or something, and I really think I need to give it another go. Tom Hardy seems to be amazing in this film from what I have seen in singular scenes, like on YouTube and stuff. Yeah, I gotta rewatch this one for sure. Then there is, this isn't a thriller or drama. I'm back in action. Whatever, who cares? These are kind of misplaced in order, but Shoot 'em Up, a ridiculously fun movie that is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a video game as a movie, basically, but that's not actually based on any actual video games. This is fucking stupid as shit, and I love it. From what I remember, I haven't watched it for a few years. I keep saying this, like I haven't watched heaps of these movies that I've been buying for quite a while, but hey, that's life, isn't it? Then there is Batman the movie, DC Superheroes Unite. I don't know what this is. I bought this thinking it was just the Lego Batman movie, but I think it's maybe a TV show spin-off movie, like of a Lego Batman show, maybe? If you know what this is, tell me, because I don't actually know what this is. It's different from what I thought it was. Then there is this random movie called Trance. I don't know that much about it, but it seems like it could be interesting. Danny Boyle and, what's his name? The dude from Split. James McAvoy. And then there's The Hitman's Bodyguard. I actually thought this movie was pretty solid, but it wasn't as funny as I was expecting it to be. Like, it was weirdly serious for what this seems like it would be. I mean, it's still a comedy. There's jokes in there for sure, but like, I was expecting more humor than there was. Then next up is The Fifth Element, which is kind of just a fun sci-fi type thing. Then there's Transformers Age of Extinction. Normally, I wouldn't buy a Transformers just on DVD like this from an op shop and whatever, because I don't really care about Transformers, particularly the sequels, but this was in the wrapping still, and if it's in the wrapping and it's only $2, like, this is brand new. This is brand new for $2. I'm getting that, like, and I got it. Whoops. Then there is The Naked Gun, which I've been watching this series. I've watched the first 2 so far, quite recently, and I fucking love these stupid movies. Oh my god. Okay, so there is this one part, let's just get into this. There's this one part where he is talking to, like, I think it's a mob boss guy in a scene, and he's got, like, the typical mob boss type of things in his office, like the stuff that's all fancy and everything makes him look rich, including a fish tank with these, I think they're like those fighting fish in there. And so they're like the rarest, most expensive fish ever or whatever. Anyway, Leslie Nelson dude drops his pen in there, but he's trying to not be obvious about it. And the mob boss guy keeps turning around and then dramatically saying something. But when he turns around, Leslie Nelson's trying to get the pen back from the fish tank and stuff. Anyway, things keep happening. And behind the dude's back, he accidentally stabs the fish and kills the fish with his pen, and his arm's all wet and everything's going on, and the fish bites his... Before it dies, I'm saying this slightly out of order. The fish bites his arm and stuff behind the guy's back. It's just... I'm not explaining it very well, but I love these movies. I really do. They are so... No, they're not stupid. I was about to say they're stupid. These movies are clever. Okay, maybe this is a hot take. These movies appear stupid. They are clever enough to be stupidly funny, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like how a Seth Rogen movie seems stupid, but there's more thought behind the jokes than it first seems. I don't know. That's what I hear about South Park as well, but I don't really like South Park though. Anyway, it's smart, stupid comedy. There's a difference between just stupid comedy and smart, stupid comedy. Then there is, what else? Spy Hard. This is another Leslie Nelson movie. Haven't seen this one though. I saw Airplane and I saw The Naked Gun recently for the first time, but I have not seen this one yet. I don't know much about this one. Don't know if it's going to be any good or whatever, but I imagine it'll be mostly the same shit, but more of a James Bond type of parody. I'll find out soon. Then, speaking of James Bond type parodies, there's Keeping Up with the Joneses. I've seen this film cheap so many times and never bought it because it's just an okay movie. Like, it's not that great. I didn't feel like I needed it in the past, but for some reason I felt like I should get it when I saw it cheap again this one time. Like, it just, for some reason, it compelled me. Yeah, $2 DVDs. I gotta get them. Then there is Nowhere Boy. Don't know much about this one, but it seems like it could be interesting. Then there is this, what's it called? Magic in the Moonlight. Again, don't know much about it, but Emma Stone and what's his name and stuff. It seems good. Anyway, moving on. Time Freak. This I'm really interested in. I've been wanting to watch this one for a while, but it wasn't on any streaming services. But I just happened to see it for $4 in Big W, and I'm like, what? Okay, that's a random ass movie to have in Big W, but sure. And I bought the fuck out of it. Then next up is The Boss. Not a movie I love, to be honest. Melissa McCarthy, you know, she's kind of hit and miss sometimes. You know, for every The Heat, which I think is great, there's Tammy, which I think is complete shit. This is more closer to Tammy than The Heat, but it's not terrible. It's not as bad as Tammy. Then next up is Chasing Amy, which is a very problematic film if you ask me. This is about a dude who has a crush on this girl. The guy's played by Ben Affleck. And he has a crush on the girl, but he finds out that she's gay, and he has like this real just fucking problem with this. Like, he's really entitled about it. He's like, don't be gay, go out with me, because I'm the best. Look, it's more complicated than that, and it does try to tackle the situation a little bit more maturely than that, but it still has quite a lot of outdated concepts, and it comes off as quite sexist for a lot of it, if you ask me. But it's not terrible, and I don't know. I'm getting the Kevin Smith movies apparently after Red State and stuff, so I bought it. Then next up is Last Flag Flying, another movie I have not seen. I keep saying that. Then there is November Criminals. I've seen some of this movie. Have not seen it all. But my wife likes it, so I got it. Then next up is a movie that I also watched recently for the first time. And you know what? I love White Men Can't Jump. It's so good. It's so good. It's so fun. If you don't know what it's about, it's Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes teaming up to hustle people out on the streets while they're playing basketball. So, like, Wesley Snipes will be all out with his, like, guys in the hood and everything, and they're all acting cool. And then there's, like, the geeky-looking dork guy, the white guy just walking down the street, who obviously Wesley Snipes wouldn't know in real life. Obviously, right? Well, that's what everyone else assumes anyway. And so he'll be like, I dare you to choose anybody here and I'll play ball with them and we'll beat you. I bet you like $700 or whatever. And then of course they're all like, how about that one dorky looking dude over there? And he's like, oh, okay. And then they beat everyone and make a ton of money and it's fun. But it's also like, I don't know, there's a bunch of drama stuff going on and everything as well. This is just, really enjoyable. It's just a really solid movie. It's not like the best thing you're ever going to see, but there's just something about it that's so charming. I love the two actors in this, and it's really fucking sick. I only watched this because a podcast that I really like, The Film Vault, recommended it. Anderson Cowan from The Film Vault was going on about this, and he made a bet with his listeners saying, if you rent this movie and you get it on streaming services and pay money for it and don't like it, I will pay you the money that you spent renting it. Well, it was on Disney Plus for free, so I didn't have to pay money for it. But he was right. I enjoyed the fuck out of this movie. And now we're getting more into like dramatic stuff. There is Foxcatcher, which is a movie that I think is solid, but it's also pretty slow and boring, but it was definitely worth having. Then another one, 10 Years, which I watched kind of for the first time. I like half watched it 10 years ago, I believe. I half watched it. Didn't really like it. But now that I'm out of high school and a bit older and about the same age as the people in this film, I kind of enjoyed the hell out of this movie, to be honest. I don't think it's for everyone. I think a lot of people would say it's not that good. And look at that terrible cover. That is not a good poster. But I liked this movie quite a lot, to be honest. It's all about how, you know, you've grown up, you're looking back, it feels very nostalgic, but it's also about how we aren't all perfectly grown up, and we haven't really changed that much in some ways, and in some ways we really have. And going back to your old high school buddies, and it can be, I don't know, cinematic. Not really. It's a very uncinematic movie, actually. I take that back entirely. Then, next up are some animated ones in Dumbo and Spirited Away. Have not seen Spirited Away before. I've got some friends who are not happy about this because it's Studio Ghibli and amazing and whatever. I just don't like anime. I don't like anime. I don't know. I tried watching, what's that one? Akira, like last year, and I did not enjoy that movie at all. I don't really like anime. I just generally. I'm sure that's just because I haven't found something that I enjoy. I'm sure there are good anime movies out there for sure, but just from what I've seen, I'm not the biggest fan. Point me in the right direction if you are desperate for me to watch some good anime. Alright, next section is TV on DVD, and then I got a couple Blu-rays on DVD actually as well. So just TV. First up, I got Futurama season 5 and 8. I'm not particularly getting them in any like particular order, I'm just getting them when I see them cheap. I've already got 1 to 4 though. I've had those for years, so I just need 6 and 7. Although, I believe 5 or 6 or something are actually just movies and not actually episodes. Because there was that Bender's Big Score one, and a few others like that. That's kind of when I stopped watching Futurama, but I've been rewatching it from season 7 onwards lately, and have been really enjoying it, so yeah. Then next up is How I Met Your Mother, fucking season 3, season 5, season 6, season 4, and season 8. That landed completely flat. I'm sure the discs are fine. Just a bunch of random seasons. I got them all for about $3 each. Yeah, I've just been wanting to get all of these because I watched the entire series recently on, I think it was on Prime, or maybe it was on our streaming service in Australia called Stan. I don't remember. It's on one of them. Yeah. So maybe it's redundant to be buying the physical copies of these DVDs since I did watch them while streaming, but fuck yeah, it's my money. Then next up is True Blood season 4 and 5. I got 1, 2, and 3 in recent buys as well. I'm not sure if I've mentioned those on in other collection videos or not. I may have, because I think they were a while ago that I got those. But look, here's the first season that was on my TV stand as well, because I've just started watching it. I've watched the first 2 episodes so far, and I'm enjoying it, so yeah. Then there is Sons of Anarchy season 1 and 2 on Blu-ray for $2 each. These are entire TV seasons on Blu-ray for $2 each. That was amazing. I could not get that. I could not get that, sorry. I have not seen this show. I don't even know if I'm that interested in it. I'll probably watch it now, but like, I couldn't not get this. $2 for an entire TV season on Blu-ray? Thank you. I believe it was Vinnie's, the op shop Vinnie's. You did good, Vinnie's. Okay, and then next up are Blu-rays that I have rebought. So these are upgrades for movies that I already had on DVD but bought on Blu-ray. First up is The Fast and the Furious, the original one. Sorry, I get this confused because I also bought Fast and Furious, which is the 4th one. Yeah, you don't think that's fucking confusing, do you? No? You don't? It fucking is. So yeah, the first one is called The Fast and the Furious. The fourth one is called Fast and Furious. They just take out the "thes." But this was in like this cool steelbook and everything, so I thought I should get it. I'm rebuying all of the Fast and Furious movies on Blu-ray because I'm an idiot. And I like these movies, at least the later sequels. The first couple I don't love, but you know, I'm a completionist and whatever. Then next up is Hereditary. I got this one for $5. Already had this on DVD. Obviously this is the upgrades, that's what I'm saying right now. Fantastic film. It's fucked. It's fucked what happens in this film. Very disturbing. There's a little rattle in there. That's alright though. And the one thing that makes this extra disturbing is that Toni Collette looks like my mum. It fucks me up when I watch this movie. Then, that's a true story. Then there is the tournament. The tournament. Is it tournament or tournament? Anyway, this is kind of like a Hunger Games type of thing, Battle Royale, One Survivor type of film, but it's much more violent. As you can see, it's rated R. And I remember it being pretty silly fun. I'm sure it's probably terrible. I reckon I'm going to rewatch this at some point soon because I remember it being really fun. Then I got Saw 5 and Saw 7, the final chapter. The Saw movies seem to be rare to find on Blu-ray, at least in my experience. When I go into like the actual entertainment store, JB Hi-Fi, like it's rare that there are all of the Saw movies on Blu-ray. I think maybe the first few aren't on Blu-ray at all. I don't know, but I was happy to find these ones cheap. 5 and 7, whatever. It's, you know, it's random ones from the series, but I'm happy to take what I can. Then I got this one called The Vow, which is a fantastic movie, thanks very much. Makes me cry, if I'm being honest. It is about Rachel McAdams here forgetting who she is, and it kind of fucks me up to think about it. Every time I watch this movie, it honestly gives me kind of like this existential crisis where I'm thinking like, but if your memory is who you are, you're not really who you are anymore if you lose it. Like your identity, like I think about it way too hard when I'm watching this movie, like it's this high concept sci-fi or something. It's not. It's kind of like a Nicholas Sparks type drama romance type of thing, and it's cutesy and stuff, but it's also really heartbreaking and whatever. I'm not ashamed to say that I think that is a fantastic movie. Legitimately, not a guilty pleasure or anything. I think it's legitimately a fantastic film. Okay, and now this video is going much longer than I was expecting it to be. I've been filming for half an hour now. Hopefully it'll be a bit shorter than that when I actually edit everything down. But we're at the main event now anyway. This is the part we've all been waiting for. These are the new Blu-rays to me. All the new Blu-rays that I bought in the last 2 months of April and May. Okay, starting off with Jurassic Park, the Ultimate Trilogy. So recently I bought the first Jurassic Park on Blu-ray. Oh, I say recently, it was probably like last year now, but whatever. And so, you know, that buy is probably kind of turned redundant now because of this, but I wasn't going to say no to this. This was like $5, $7. For the Jurassic Park movies on Blu-ray. I thought that was sick, so I got it. Then there is Riddick, just that remake from 2013, I believe, or reboot or sequel, whatever the fuck it is. I've never seen any of the Riddick movies, so I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Again though, I got this one for $2. Yeah, I got really lucky the other day on the weekend when I was going to the op shop called Vinnie's, where they had all these Blu-rays for $2 each. I shit myself. I didn't literally, but it was an exciting moment for me. My eyes were like just completely wide. I'm scanning everything, the shelves and everything. There were a lot there. I was looking for everything. I wanted to get my money's worth and whatever. I ended up only spending about $30, so I probably got about 15 or whatever. I should have bought more. Anyway, then next up is Deja Vu, which is not a movie I love, but it does have an interesting concept to it and everything, and I thought it was worth buying. Then there's Rock and Roller, which is another movie I haven't seen, but apparently it's fairly good. So yeah, I'm actually pretty curious to watch that one. Same goes for Layer Cake. Haven't seen it. Then there is Black Mass, which is a movie that has some tape on it, but whatever. Which is a movie which is underrated if you ask me. It's not that highly rated a film. It's kind of just like a crime biopic type of thing. I think it's a fairly good film. I don't love it. It's not as good as, I don't know, Goodfellas or something like that, like same type of films like that. But I think it's fairly good. Then there is Wreck Genesis, which is apparently the third Wreck movie. Um, I haven't seen any of the Wreck movies. Fuck, I haven't seen any of these goddamn movies I'm buying, have I? So it might not surprise you. But this one sounds kind of interesting. It's like, it's about a wedding, and then I guess there's like some sort of virus going around in the wedding, and there's a woman on the back. There's a sticker over her face, but she's in a wedding dress and she's got a chainsaw and stuff, so it seems kind of like a fun movie. Then there is The Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead on Blu-ray. I was pretty excited to find this one. Yeah, I've been wanting this for a while, and I saw it for $4, so that's pretty good. And then there is Doom, the movie based on the video game. And I've never seen this, surprisingly. For a fan of like the Resident Evil movies and stuff like that, I've never seen Doom. I think I'll like it, but apparently it's really bad, but I still kind of think I'll like it, so that's okay. Then there is Deliver Us from Evil, which is an Eric Bana supernatural horror type of thing, kind of trying to be The Conjuring, but nowhere near as good, but I still thought it's an okay movie, so I got it. And then next up on the new Blu-rays to me is Goon. I watched this for the first time recently. I've heard very good things about it. I probably didn't love it as much as people who have like raved about it, but I did like it quite a bit. It's pretty solid. And yeah, it's a good film. Then there is Monsters, which is a movie I have not seen, but I've been interested to see for literal years. I've been meaning to watch it for a very long time. Then there is Good Boys, which I did watch recently for the first time. It's not fantastic, but it's kind of funny. Then there is Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I'm not the biggest fan of the first one, and I've never seen the sequel, but it's time travel and it's comedy, and it seems like it'll be up my alley, even though I didn't love the first one, so I got it. Again, it was $2, so whatever. Then there is Enchanted, which I got on Blu-ray, and I was surprised to find that I don't have this on DVD, because I legitimately really like Enchanted, to be honest. It is about a real-life Disney princess going to the real streets of New York and whatever, and finding out that life isn't a fairy tale and whatever, and it's just kind of stupid fish out of water comedy, and yeah, it's good. Then there is Machete or however you pronounce it. Machete is how I would say it. And this is kind of in not a steel book, but a slipcover thingo. And I got it for $2, so yeah, $4. Sorry. Ooh, double the price I said. Still, $4. It was pretty good. I've only actually seen the sequel. I've only seen Machete Kills. I have not actually seen the first one, but I imagine it'll be pretty similar. And I really liked the sequel, which I don't have and should buy. Then there is How I Live Now, which I actually am not really familiar with this, but it seems maybe interesting. Then there is Men in Black and Men in Black 2. The first is in another one of these slipcover things. I got it for $4, and I got both of these for $4, so that's pretty good buy. You know, not absolute classics, but I think they're fun. So then there is Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge, Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge, an animated movie from 2019, I believe, which, if you ask me, is probably, I haven't seen the original Mortal Kombat, but compared to the 2021 version anyway, the best Mortal Kombat movie that I've seen anyway. I think it's pretty good. That being said, it is pretty basic. It wasn't as Scorpion focused as I thought it would be, surprisingly. I mean, it is. He's in it quite a lot. A hell of a lot more than the 2021 movie version anyway. But it does focus on Liu Kang and Johnny Cage and all that stuff going to the Mortal Kombat tournament as well. And I kind of just wanted it to only be about Scorpion, but hey, whatever, that's what the movie was. I can't complain. I do think it's pretty good, and the animation is awesome. It's bloody as hell. Like, this is surprisingly violent, and I got it for $4 at Big W, so, you know, that's not an op shop. This is brand new in the wrapping. I got it for $4. I was fucking stoked to find that. Then there is Seven Psychopaths. My wife got me this for my birthday last month because I watched this for the first time recently as well, and I absolutely love this movie. This is a big recommend. It's a bit of an older movie from, I think, like 2012 or something like that, but yeah, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to say too much about it, to be honest, but like, watch it. Please watch it. Like, it's so good. Then next up is The Riot Club, which I watched for the first time last night as of recording. If you're gonna watch this movie, be prepared for some fucked up stuff, but not for the first half. If you are gonna watch this movie and you have not seen it, nothing happens for the first half, really. And I was sitting there being like, yeah, I don't know about this one. It's kind of just, I don't know, it's whatever. But then they get to a dinner. They get to a dinner, and the rest of the movie is set at this dinner, almost. Pretty much the rest of the runtime is all set at this dinner, where things go terribly wrong, I'll say. And it's all their own doing. This is the most frustrating movie I've ever seen in my life, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. This made me irrationally, or maybe even rationally, I don't even know if I'd say it was irrational. This movie made me so fucking angry. Like, it made me so angry. Yeah, it's all about rich people, these rich people thinking that they can just buy their way out of anything. They think that the law just doesn't apply to them because they have money and they can just do whatever the fuck they want. And they're on top of the world and fuck everybody else. There's even this one part where one of the main characters says that he's fucking sick of poor people because they think that they're better than the rich people and stuff. And he just goes on about this rant about how poor people are just like the scum of the earth, basically. And it's like, fuck you. Fuck every fucking one of the characters in this movie. Fuck them all so much. I hate them with a passion. It makes me so angry, and it just proves how well done this movie is. I think this is a brilliant film. I think it's fucking fantastic. And if you can take that frustration, if you believe you can handle the subject matter going on in this movie, I highly recommend it. I think it's very underrated. It's only got a 6.0 on IMDb. Honestly, I think it deserves more closely to like an 8 or something. I think it really is brilliant. I think it has something to say, but it made me so fucking angry at all of the characters in it. Like, they are just absolute cunts, which is not a word I normally use. Fuck these people. Anyway, let's get into more positive stuff, but not really, because the subject matter in this isn't really any more positive, and they actually kind of correlate a little bit from The Riot Club. But it's more positive because I love this movie so much. It's Promising Young Woman. This is another movie that my wife got me for my birthday because it is absolutely brilliant, and I wanted it so damn much. You don't understand how much I wanted this movie. I love this movie more than most movies. It is honestly one of my favorites. It's shot right up there ever since I saw it, just like straight up to being one of my favorites of all time. I think Promising Young Woman is absolutely astonishing. It's so morally complicated. It's so interesting. I love that there is this character who is going out being kind of a vigilante, but she's not killing people. She's really trying to change people's points of view. She's trying to do good, and she dedicates her entire life to this. She basically doesn't let herself have a life so that she can do this mission that she deems so important. And it's so respectable and it's so cool, but she's ruining her life to do this, and it's kind of tragic because of that as well. And there's so much tragedy in here, but there's also so much comedy. It gets the tone of everything right, and it's very modern. It has a lot to say. It's really, really brilliantly done. I love Promising Young Woman so much. So much. It's so good. And that's it. That was my last one. Those are all the movies that I bought in the month of May and, well, April and May. But this was just the first part because, I'll be honest, I'm shooting this halfway through May, and I believe I may buy some more stuff before the end of May. I'm not editing this video yet, so my clothes may change in a second because I'll be shooting the rest of this on another day when I've bought more stuff. Catch you then. Hey, okay, so I'm just adding on a little bit more because I went op shopping today, so this is some of the stuff I bought. Well, it's all of the stuff I bought today. It's not just some of the stuff, it's everything. But it's not much, so yeah. 2 seconds, let's just get through it. So first up is 30 Days of Night, which is a pretty damn good movie. It's got a great premise to it where they're in, I believe it's Alaska or somewhere where it's winter for a very long time and daylight literally doesn't happen for a month. And there are vampires, and you know, vampires, nighttime, it's bad for the humans basically. Then there is 3:10 to Yuma with this annoying sticker right here, but that's fine, I can take that off. Then there is Flatliners, a newish movie that I haven't seen. Apparently it's kind of bad, but I'm kind of interested to see it. I'm interested in the premise, so we'll see. Then there's the original I Spit on Your Grave, which I've never seen. I imagine this won't be a fun watch, but I don't know. I thought I may as well get it because I got it, again, like everything, I got it at an op shop for $2. Like, that's a pretty cool find. I don't know. Might be a bad movie. We'll see. I actually like the remake alright, like a surprising amount. It's it's alright. I like the Last House on the Left more though, the remake. I haven't seen the original of that either. They're similar movies, that's why I mentioned it. Then there is Seed of Chucky, I mean. Haven't seen this one, see what I think. Yeah, I just thought, you know, I should probably get it because it seems kind of up my alley. Then there is A History of Violence, which I watched for the first time recently, actually, and I ended up thinking it was actually kind of dumb, to be honest, but still a good enough movie to get. I don't know, $2, whatever, I got it. And then there is Panic Room, which is really, actually, I think one of David Fincher's best movies, if you ask me. I'm a big fan of Panic Room. And then there is the Rambo trilogy. This was obviously made before the next two movies were made, but yeah, I just thought I got this for $5, just this big box set. I do already have the first one, but I didn't have 2 and 3, and I don't know, I thought it looked kind of cool. The box is a little bit ripped up on the back, just a little bit, but for $5 I thought this was just kind of a cool little box set thing, so yeah. Then there is, those are the last of the movies on DVD, but then I've got this weird little special thing that's the short films collection from Disney Animation Studios. So not Pixar, but the actual Disney movies. These are some of the shorts that were before, like, certain movies and stuff. This one does have one of my all-time favorite animated shorts in Paperman, which I rewatched recently to show to my parents before we watched Monsters Inc. on Disney Plus, like last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever. Paperman is an amazing short. If you have Disney Plus, please check Paperman out. It's like 6 minutes, and it will make you feel things in that 6 minutes. It's so good. I don't know if I've seen any of the other shorts on this thing, but I thought that was just a neat little find, and this was $1, so like that's kind of cool. I'm sure that the runtime, like, probably says it back here, the runtime's probably like, I don't know, not even half an hour long or something, but oh well, it's $1. I cannot find where it says the runtime. Oh, 77 minutes. Oh, so there you go. Hour 20. That's not too bad. That's movie length. Then there is Brooklyn Nine-Nine Season 3. I don't have any of the other seasons on DVD, but hey, whatever. This was $3, so I thought I'd get it. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's such a good comfort show. Like, it's just pleasant. I just like it. And then the last thing that I got, a Blu-ray, is for this movie called The Other Woman, which is a movie that came out quite a few years ago. 2015, 16, I'm guessing, something like that. That I surprisingly liked quite a bit. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure, maybe it's kind of a, I shouldn't admit to liking it, but when I saw it in cinemas, I remembered being pleasantly surprised, and it was on Blu-ray for $2, so fuck it, I got it. Hey, just another little end bonus part of this video that I wasn't planning, but I came home to a box of DVDs just today after work, and they were sent for free, thank you, by my friend Tristan from the Martial Arts Film Freak YouTube channel. He's been telling me he's been wanting to send a few of these to me. He was just trying to offload a few of his things from his collection, downsize. I think he's upgraded some of them to Blu-ray and all that stuff. So I have a bunch of martial arts movies, which is not exactly my sort of genre. I'm not very familiar with a lot of this stuff, but I'm kind of keen to like get into some of this stuff, particularly the first one, Enter the Dragon. It's a movie I've never seen, and I appreciate so much that it's even on Blu-ray. Most of these are DVDs, but like the one I'm probably even most interested in is a nice little fancy Blu-ray. That makes me pretty happy to see. Then there is this other one called Bangkok Adrenaline, which seems like it could be quite silly, just from the front cover. But like, I don't know, could be fun. Another thing though that I need to say about American Blu-rays, because my friend from the Martial Arts Film Freak is American, they don't have the rating thing like ours do, like that front thing, which I hear a lot of people, particularly Americans, I've heard complain that those are ugly, they get in the way and whatever. But for me, without it, it looks fake. I don't know, like the rating there makes it look official to me for some reason. So, I don't know, that's just a funny little thing. Then there is this Bruce Lee collection thing. It's got 5 movies on it, so that's pretty cool. I'm actually not familiar with Bruce Lee movies at all, which would shock Tristan. He'd be like, you son of a bitch. I'm sure that would be his exact reaction. So I've not seen any of these, and I probably should. Like, you know, Bruce Lee, like, even if martial arts movies aren't exactly my thing, I feel like I should probably have seen some Bruce Lee movies, you know? Then there is this movie called The Warlords. I know absolutely nothing about it. Okay. Then, a couple movies I actually have seen. Police Story and Police Story 2. At least I've seen one. I know I've seen a few of these, but I don't know exactly which ones I've seen. And I may have also seen Rumble in the Bronx because I believe, if I have this right, part of this movie was shot in Melbourne. Unless that's No More Mr. Nice Guy, I don't remember. But whichever one was briefly shot in Melbourne, I've seen. Then, hilariously, I just need to bring this one up. He's also got The Intern here, okay? Because there's something you need to know about my mate Tristan. He loves The Intern for some reason. He loves it. I don't know, he's talked about it on his channel a couple times, and I just find it adorable that I've got all these martial arts movies in a stack and everything, and then just in the middle there's The Intern. I kind of love it. Then there is BKO Bangkok Knockout. That is a tongue twister. Again, I know nothing about it. Then there is Killzone, and I recognize that actor from it, Donnie Yen. He's in a Star Wars movie. Sorry for not being a super expert on these. Oh, then there is New Police Story. Then there's Donnie Yen again. And I like that guy, so I might actually be pretty into these ones. This one looks strange, Tristan. B13 District. I said that the wrong way around. District B13. Oh yeah, no, this actually sounds pretty fucking fun. In isolation, wall surrounds the ghetto cities of District B13. Within these walls, without effective law enforcement, gang rule is absolute. That sounds amazing. That kind of sounds like Dread or something like that. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Then there is Dragon Tiger Gate. Man, some of these things have weird names. I'm assuming that's a translation kind of thing. Yeah. Then there is this one. I don't know how to pronounce it. Mirantu. Tristan, you've told me about this one specifically. So yeah, I'll definitely make sure to watch this one. This has the guy from The Raid in it. What's his name? Does it say on the back? I don't know if it says on the back. I forgot his name. But yeah, no. I'd actually be pretty keen to check this one out. Love that dude. I mean, I've only seen him in The Raid, and I think he's in The Force Awakens for like 2 seconds, but from what I've seen of The Raid, yeah, that dude kicks ass. Then there is this one, The Man from Nowhere. I'm digging the cover. That just looks intriguing to me, and it's in this nice little case type of thing. And then the last one is Battle Creek Brawl. Another Jackie Chan one. I love Jackie Chan. Have not seen all of his movies. Jackie Chan is always good, so I'll definitely check that one out at some point soon as well. Yeah, I mean, I always have so much stuff to watch, too much stuff to watch, too much stuff to watch. But I appreciate it so much. Thanks to the Martial Arts Film Freak. Check his channel out, because he's good dude. Good boy. He's got a good channel. Again, like martial arts movies and stuff, that's not my genre really, but like I just love watching his channel, seeing him talk about the thing that he's so passionate about regardless. Like it's kind of just fun to see somebody who really knows what he's talking about when it comes to a thing that I really know nothing about. There's kind of something fun to that. You know, I can watch a million people talk about, I don't know, Marvel movies or whatever. Everybody's got a fucking opinion on Marvel movies, but something that's like just cool and niche and stuff, like martial arts movies and stuff, there aren't a lot of channels that cover that. It's just cool. Check his channel out. And that's all. I'll just like flash forward, flash back, flash forward, whatever, to the other me, the me from the past, to outro this video. Okay? That makes sense. Hey, it is now halfway through June. I wasn't planning on combining June as well in this video, but hey, here we are. So yeah, I got a couple more things just today, just because there was a sale, and all these were $2 each, and they have stickers on them, so just to prove it. So first up, some TV shows, Modern Family, Season 7. I don't know, I like Modern Family, so why not? I've got like 1 to 4 or something, so I'll just get them all eventually. Then there's the first season of Sherlock, not a show that I've ever seen, but hey, $2, may as well try it. Then there's Fargo Season 3. I love the first season of Fargo, haven't really seen past that, but I imagine it's good. Then there is the first season of Master of None, which is a show that I absolutely love very much, so definitely worth it for $2, like an entire season. And then there's some shows, okay? So first up is The Cobbler, which is some Adam Sandler movie. I don't remember what it's about. Something about magic shoes or something. I remember thinking it was okay, but like everyone says this movie is like the worst fucking thing ever. I don't know. I must be stupid. Then there is Ma. I kind of really enjoy this. This is just kind of a silly horror movie thing. Heaps more violent than you might expect as well. This was the only one that was any more than $2. This was $7. Ooh, pricey, right? Then there's The Florida Project. Not a movie I've seen, but I hear very good things. So I got it. Then there is this interesting documentary thing called Pick Up the Litter, which came out a few years ago about guide dogs, like training. And it's interesting and I like it. And it's got adorable puppies in it and stuff. Then there is The Hate U Give, which is a fairly good movie. It's very political and some of it I felt like it could have dealt with some certain issues a bit better, particularly when it comes to certain characters. But for the most part, it is a movie that is trying to do the right thing. And I appreciate. I've watched it a couple times. I think it's good. And then my favorite of the bunch that I bought, again, for $2, American Animals. This is a fantastic heist kind of comedy sort of movie. And it's great and really underrated and I love it and you should watch it if you haven't seen it. And that's all. Thanks for watching this part. I'm still going. This video is still going apparently. Sorry for that. But okay, so this is the final iteration of what has turned out to be an April, May, and June haul, okay? We're nearly finished. Okay, so to start this off and to end June, finally, I'm going to go through I'm going to explain something. I've been going through kind of like an aquatic horror movie phase at the moment. So I'll start this off by talking briefly about Rogue, an Australian movie from 2007 about a giant crocodile. That's very, very good and surprisingly violent in some of its scenes, even though it's only rated M. And then if you ask me, much inferior version of this movie set in America, also about a crocodile, not an alligator for some reason. This is from '99 and it's kind of boring. Really not as good as Rogue, if you ask me. Then there is 47 Meters Down Uncaged, and I also watched the first 47 Meters Down after I bought and watched this one, which is the sequel. I was aware it was the sequel, but I knew it was different characters, so I just watched it. And then I liked this one enough to go back and watch the original. I had to rent that one digitally. Anyway, these are movies that people fucking hate. Like, the reviews are so bad, and after watching these movies I went back to watch the big guys, Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Jahns and stuff. I went back to watch their reviews of these movies. They just tear them apart, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't get it. I think these are solid movies, particularly this sequel, to be honest. I probably like the sequel a little bit more. I think they're good. I don't know. A lot of people complain about the logic, like they're fucking experts on okay, look, I don't want to rag on Chris Stuckman too much, but he was going on about how it doesn't make any sense how they're communicating with each other because they've got these scuba diving helmets on and stuff, and it's how are they talking? And it's I don't know, I'm not a fucking scuba diving expert. Are you, Chris Stuckman? Probably not, so deal with it. They can talk to each other. I don't know, shit like that doesn't wreck a movie for me. I know it does for other people though, so fair enough, whatever, but I enjoyed these two movies, whatever. Then next up is Sanctum, which is not a movie I have seen yet, but it seems kind of relevant to the phase I'm going through, so I'll probably watch it soon. I didn't get this for $15 at an ex-rental. That would have been the person who got it before me. I got it for $3. Then there is the last of the water-based horror movies that I got recently is Ghost Ship, which is a movie that has the best intro of all fucking time to a horror movie, led by a just kind of fine whatever movie. It's not that great, but it was fine. I had fun with it, I suppose. But the start, oh my god. If you haven't seen the start, just look it up on YouTube because it's amazing. Alright, and then we got a few more horror movies. Let's get through these. So first up is the original Child's Play. I got this from the Prime Day sale that was happening a few weeks ago as of recording. This is a movie that I really should have had a very long time ago, so I've righted that wrong now. I should get the rest of the series as well though. Then is this one called 1 Hour Photo, which is a fantastic movie starring Robin Williams as this guy who is just a real fucking creep. He works at a photo development place. This is set in, it was made in 2001, where you still had to go get your film developed. Imagine living in that world where you can't just have your photos at will. You don't even know what your photos look like until you go and get them developed It's like we live in a sci-fi world compared to this shit. It was an interesting look back at this era that kind of I just saw the tail end of. Anyway, but Robin Williams is like amazing in this and is such a damn creep in this, and like I was really impressed by this movie. He gets obsessed with this family because they develop their photos at the place that he works at, and he starts to kind of learn too much about these people through these photos and kind of grow this kind of relationship that doesn't really exist, like a, what are they called, parasocial relationship, I believe they're called, where they don't really know him but he starts to kind of bond with them, and he just, yeah, takes that shit way too far. Fantastic movie. I only watched this movie because a YouTuber that I love named Ryan Hollinger reviewed it, or did a video essay on it. I don't know if I saying reviewed it sounds kind of condescending or something. Like, he does so much more than just reviewing, you know, like he goes really in depth. Check out that channel if you don't know it. Then next up is Come to Daddy, which is a movie that I watched kind of recently, maybe a couple months ago. Very strange, funny, horror comedy type of stuff that is great. It's just right up my alley. Then I got The Midnight Meat Train, which is the worst titled film in history probably, but I remember liking it. I haven't watched it for a long time though. Maybe it's terrible. I don't know. I know there is one scene where he like hacks a woman in the back of the head and her eyeball pops out. Maybe it's a man. I don't remember. Somebody gets their eyeball popped out. Then, and I watched this last night actually as of recording, The ABCs of Death I bought for $2, and fuck me, this is straight garbage. This film is fucking atrocious. Sorry to horror fans and stuff if you do like this. I thought this was fucking terrible. To be fair, I started to skim through quite a few of them if they started to not interest me. Some of these are shot terribly. Some are better. Some are kind of interesting and go for something a little bit interesting, but for the most part, a good chunk of these 26 films, this is an anthology film, I forgot to mention. So it's 26 horror films directed by 26 different directors, and it's based on the alphabet. They all start with a different letter, like the title, and that's where their inspiration comes from. They got like given a letter and then they made from there. And man, it's just, yeah, a good chunk of those 26 are just fucking terrible. Then next up is Underworld and Underworld Evolution. I don't know. I've never seen any of these movies, but I imagine I would enjoy them if I ever get around to them, which I very well may not, if I'm being honest. But I bought it. Then there is Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, which I haven't watched just yet, but plan to very soon. I've never seen this one. I've seen the original, and I'm not a fan of it, but I love Fury Road, and apparently this one is more like Fury Road than it is the original. Have you seen the original Mad Max? It is, for one, not apocalyptic, so it has nothing to do with fucking anything after it, and it's just boring. But apparently it's shot kind of near where I live, somewhere near where I live. I don't exactly know where. Anyway, then next up is The Peanut Butter Falcon. Fantastic movie. Yeah, just really love it. It's kind of about like creating your own family. And it's just really wholesome and nice. And I'm into it. Then, last few here, I got a couple Blu-rays. So first up, I got Freaky, which is a movie that I absolutely love so damn much. Then I also got Antebellum, which is a movie that also got quite shit ratings and reviews and stuff, much like the 47 Meters Down movies. But I was blown away by this movie, to be honest. It's one of the first few that I got to see in cinemas as of in 2020 when we got out of lockdown. But I rewatched this. I rewatched this with my mum just to show her how like fantastic it was, and she also was pretty blown away by it as well. It's hard to explain what it's about. It's a horror movie which is, look, it's very political. It's very much about racism. And some say that it's exploitive. I disagree personally. Maybe that's not my place to say or whatever, but I thought that it did a really good job of commentating on how things in the past maybe aren't so different from how they are today in some certain ways. I don't know. I think Antebellum is a fantastic film. Yeah. And I don't know, you'll probably hate it because everyone hated it, but I love it. Then, lastly, this is the last thing I got for the month of June. The Walking Dead Season 1 on Blu-ray for $3. And there's that sticker right there for $3. I mean, I don't know, this was back when, you know, in 2010, when The Walking Dead was my favorite show of all time for a brief moment there. The first season and the second season, I absolutely loved so much. I felt like I couldn't say no to $3 Blu-ray TV seasons. How can you say no to that? I don't know, so I got it. I do already have it on DVD, but it's Blu-ray. Had to get it. So yeah, I do not watch it anymore. I haven't seen past season 5 maybe. I don't even think I finished season 5. I'm not sure. But I very much loved the first and second season in particular. So I definitely don't regret getting this. And now I'm going to let some version of Past Me outro this video and get out of here. And that's everything. That's all I got today, and that's all I've got for the month. So there you go. Those were my April and May movies that I got everything. This is my movie haul thing and whatever, blah blah blah. That's it. Thanks for watching this one. Do the things like comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and yeah, I don't know, catch me next time when I buy more shit, because come on, it's me. Inevitably I will buy more shit. See ya.